Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, tonight here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. The RB Custom Rigs Scrambler Series back in action as always to start the week off here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to bring you all the racing action here for the Red Light Racing Series at Pocono. Up in the booth tonight here, it is Muth in the booth, and we got to welcome you all here tonight to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Home is right here at the tricky triangle. Three turns that are not even close to being the same. These drivers have been struggling. All 32 drivers who have registered into this race here tonight for your Auto Value Parts Store 162. It's a 2.5 mile oval. They do call it an oval. It may have a three-turn, well, like we said, three turns, and it's still considered an oval on the NASCAR circuit. It's one of the biggest tracks, also sitting at 2.5 miles. It rivals the sides of Daytona International Speedway and Talladega as the other two largest tracks on the NASCAR scene. But tonight, we will not see that quote-unquote pack racing that we see at Daytona or Talladega. Yes, we are in the Cup car, and yes, we do only have the 550 horsepower package behind these big monsters here tonight. So for the first handful of laps, we're going to see a lot of jockeying for position before the tires and the field starts to really get sprung out here tonight. These drivers are having some issues. As you can see, Minto down there having a problem. Josiah Millen, one of the hometown boys here, spends once a year, possibly twice a year, depending on the Cup Series schedule when they come here to the Pocono International Raceway. He usually sits right about there at the start-finish line. Second tier up is where Millen usually likes to sit, and well, this year he was going to attend this track, and unfortunately the COVID-19 crisis came, and a lot of us could not attend any of these NASCAR races this season. So we come here to iRacing to kind of live through our NASCAR hopes and dreams. And tonight, race fans, these Red Light boys are going to put on one whale of a show. So far this season has not been any disappointment. Last week, the season opener at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Sean Butler was able to win that race. He was one of the only drivers in the field to walk away out of that race with a 0x incident limit point. Well, the only other driver that was in that field was Eric Johnson. But there is a big difference between Eric Johnson's 0x and Sean Butler's. The difference is Butler was in victory lane. Johnson finished back into the 11th position. Looking through the timing and scoring stats, though, here for tonight in our practice session for your Auto Value Parts Store 162, there is no Sean Butler, so we will not have a repeat winner. So we will go at the end of the night and have two winners on the season who have locked themselves in to the championship hunt. Your top standings, though, coming into the night do look like this. Sean Butler is at the top of the boards with Max Terrill just 1 point back. James Skelton is third, Eric Troutman is fourth, James Heater is fifth, Justin Gann is sixth, Richard Murdoch seventh in the point standings, and Nathan Maurer, another one of those Pennsylvania Posse boys. We'll talk about him a little bit more in this event tonight. Ninth is going to be Michael Trevarthen. 10th is Tony Strano. That's how your top 10 come into this race here. And race fans, I hope you're ready, because on the Monday night, the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, they always put on probably some of the best racing that you're going to see all week long, and I hope you're ready, because we're going to go qualifying right after the National Anthem. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned right here to the Turn 3 Racing Network for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series tonight for the Auto Value Parts Store 162.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh,
Welcome back here, race fans, to Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Qualifying for your auto value parts stores is underway. And one of the first drivers to hit the racetrack, he resides out of New Jersey. He is in the Air Force. It is Brandon Full Yeet Minto right here in the Miller Lite number 20 machine. Minto just residing down the road in New Jersey. It's about a 2-hour truck north for the driver of this number 20 to get to the Pocono International Raceway. Problem is, he has never been to Pocono to see a race. We're going to have to change that one day as the qualifying times are starting to roll in here. It looks like Jason Wells is at the top of the boards here on lap number 1 with his Alienware, number 64. He had the quick time in our practice session just a little bit ago, and right now he is at the top of the boards. The driver that had a good practice time, you see him way down yonder. It's the Full Throttle Racing number 20, almost number 98 driver. This is Ryan O'Donnell out of Canton, Michigan, the Canton Brew Works 98 machine. He's a little bit down on speed on his first qualifying lap. It was 10th quickest for the driver out of Michigan. Rob Higgins in the 941, the Higgins Hill Racing. New colors on the side of this machine. It looks like it's the Outback number 4, but it's going to be the 941 for all you race fans following along. We'll see where Rob Higgins will be able to slide himself in here tonight on lap number 2. See, Higgins will come across the line here. He was 16th fastest on lap number 1. He'll move up to 15th quickest and right back down because last week's second place finisher, the man out of Canada, number 8, the MKMedic.com machine. This is Max Terrill. He right now is into the 8th position. Richard Murdoch out of Somerville, South Carolina, last time by. He just took the school bus machine right up to P number 2 on lap number 1, I believe that was. That was because he is on lap number 2 right now as he enters the tunnel turn. This is where a lot of drivers, as Murdoch was hanging it out there onto that right rear tire tonight. The Adventure in Pixels 01 out of Somerville, South Carolina. See where he can come through turn 3, if he can pick up any positions here, lap number 2 of the qualifying session. As a packed house here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, virtually. Lap number 2 for Murdoch, a little bit slower. The tunnel turn ate him up on lap number 2. The RB Custom Rigs, number 30, Toyota out of Virginia. This is Justin Gann. Series sponsor colors on the side of 30, and he is going to stuff it into the outside wall in turn 1. And, oh boy, I hope Mr. Gann is okay, because the RB Custom Rigs machine will need to go to a backup car after that wild ride. Just got 1 lap in the books here just a moment ago. It is the number 33 of Eric Johnson, the Dirty Mo Radio Orange machine. Brand new colors. We talked about that last week. Eric Johnson, one of those silent but deadly drivers. He will always be silent throughout the race, but he will find his way to the front of the field when it counts. But it will not be good enough to get a second time to lap in here. So that will mean James Heater will go to the top of the leaderboards. So that means it's going to be time to go through our starting lineup here tonight for the Auto Value Parts Store 162. Starting lineup is brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Every project, shrubbery project, tree project, bush project, starts at the Green Forest Tree Supply. Head on over to the website and order your tree today and let it blossom in your yard. And this is that starting lineup brought to us by Green Forest Tree Supply. Starting on the front row, the driver of the number 18 machine here tonight, it is going to be James Heater. Starting to his outside, it is the Alienware 64 of Jason Wells. Starting in row number 3 here tonight, or starting in position number 3 tonight, it's going to be the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. Starting in the 4th position, it's going to be Mr. Single in the 914 machine out of New England. DJ Anderson is back in action in the 51 Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. He'll start in the 5th spot. Starting in the 6th spot, it's Brandon Full Throttle Yeet Racing Minto in the number 20 Air Force entry. Starting behind him, the driver of the Metalhead Motorsports 31 driver is Michael Trevorthen. Starting in 8th here tonight, the driver of the 924, it is Zach Mitchell. Starting 9th out of Canada, the the driver that has had 60 wins in his career on the iRacing.com platform. It's the 42 of Max Terriol. Starting in the 10th position, the Canton Full Throttle Racing 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. Starting into the 11th position, it is the driver of the Green Forest Resupply, number 43 of Joe Trano. Dalton Williamson in the 991 machine will roll off into our 12th position here tonight. Starting 13th tonight, the driver of the number 4, it's Kyle Souza. Starting 14th on the grid, driver of the number 10, Hot Sauce Machine, Classics Hot Sauce Machine, is Tim Blum. 15th on the grid tonight, rolling out onto the track in the number 917, one of the Rookie of the Year candidates, it's going to be Tim Combs. Brand new colors on the 62 machine here tonight for Ethan Troutman. He'll roll off 16th. Starting 17th on the grid, the RB Custom Rigs, number 30 of Justin Gann. He'll start 17th. Eric Johnson in the Dirty Mo Radio, number 33, will start 18th on the grid. 19th is going to be the 86 of James Skelton. He's going to have to come way back in the field. 19th starting spot. The Higgins Hill Racing Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 941 of Rob Higgins, will start 20th. 21st on the grid here tonight. He is going to be the man for the Swagger in, number 997. This is Don Coleman. Tony Strano did not get a time in, but he will start into the 22nd position of the Strano Brothers, number 3. Starting 23rd on the grid will be the Need for Speed Motorsports driver. It is Josh Buckley driving the number 2 Draft Top machine. Starting from Canada, way down under, the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. 25th going to be Doug Neal in the Sim Box entry. Dustin Gady is going to start 26th. 27th going to be Nathan Maurer out of Pennsylvania. That's going to be Bruce Potter. And 28th, 29th, Josiah Millen. And Phillips will start right there as we are racing here tonight in our Auto Value Parts Store 162 at Pocono. Green flag is in the air here tonight. Everybody gonna race towards turn number 1. One of them down out of the groove. That's one of the Simbox drivers. That is Nathan Maurer. He'll go to the rear of the field as we race into turn number 1 for the first time. Oh, looks like a big check up to the outside. Wells gonna lose a couple of positions. Here comes DJ Anderson. He is dancing down the back straightaway. Anderson trying to work under Murdoch. He's not going to be able to because Wells got a great run down the back straightaway. As they work themselves out of the tunnel turn, one of them going to smack the tunnel turn wall. I believe that was the DuPont 924 entry. Zach Mitchell, one of those rookies, tangles with the tunnel turn here tonight. He is now having some issues as he's 3 wide. Ryan O'Donnell going to go to the middle of that one. Ryan trying to follow Joe Strano up through the field as we are single file for those first 6 positions. Then it's Michael Trevarthen right now. And it looks like Trevarthen will take away the 7th position for the time being. We talked to Max just last week, and he said that this track is one of his favorite tracks, and he looks to be up towards the front at the end of this one. Right now, he's back into that 8th position, still side-by-side racing back here. Right around, looks like that's the 17th position. 17th spot is Ethan Troutman right now. He's got the Mobile 1. I believe that's a throwback to what would be, I believe, Tony Stewart on the side of his car, and that paint scheme right there, if I remember right up in the old memory bank, that car went to victory lane for the first time ever right here at the Pocono Raceway for a points-paying race. The first time the Office Depot paint scheme ever went to victory lane on Tony Stewart's car would have been at the Charlotte All-Star Race. Right now, Troutman, brand new paint scheme on this 62, and he is running right there into the 17th position. We'll work through the tunnel turn. One of them up out of the groove, and that is the Green Forest Tree Supply, 43 of Joe Strano. He was up the track, and now it looks like Dalton Williamson will get around him. It looks like maybe some connection issues for the 43 of Joe Strano because he has dropped a couple spots here. Remember, he was in front of Ryan O'Donnell, and that was in the 8th position. Now he's back here, and oh, somebody way wicked loose out of the groove there. That's the DraftTop.com number 2 Ford Mustang of Josh Buckley, as he has now gathered it back up, but he's also going to lead or lose a couple positions. Dustin Gainey got around him, Tony Strano, Don Coleman, and James Skelton all got around. New race leader, though, It is the Adventure in Pixels 01. Richard Murdoch now to the race lead here. 42 of Max Terriot looking to the inside here of Minto. That'll be the battle for the 6th position. Minto's going to give it up as they go into turn number 3. But Minto's really going to yeet it off into the corner on the quarter panel. Loose goes Max. Minto going to have a great run out of turn number 3 down this very long front straightaway here at Pocono. So Minto will nose ahead here, and he will be able to clear the 42 of Max Terriot down into turn 1, but Minto misses the corner. You see that smoking there? That is actually a network connection issue for one of our drivers up inside the top 5. There is no accident on the speedway right now. Look at Terriot start to try and reel back in. Brandon Minto now for that 6th position. This is the closest battle to the front. It's for that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and on back there, all the way to the number 10 of Tim Blum, who runs into the 13th position. They're all within about a half a second of each other on the speedway. Minto still able to hold on to that spot for the time being. Ryan O'Donnell to the outside with his Canton Brew Works machine. They flash by our cameras here on the front straightaway. One of them out of line, and I believe that's the Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry of DJ Anderson looking to the inside. Not going to be able to have a run on single in the 914 Mustang entry tonight. Ever since the lunch lady got out front, race fans, he's been able to hang on to it so far. Murdoch has the race lead, but here comes James Heater. The low line racing Toyota going to jet down to the inside, and when he comes to the tunnel turn, he will have the preferred line, and he will take the race lead as Murdoch's going to be able to, well, actually, looks like James Heater there kind of lifted just a little bit. Murdoch came rushing back to the outside. They are 2 by 2 for the front 4 positions. Down into turn 3, they go for the 6th time here tonight. Who will lead lap number 6? It looks like a great run on the outside there for the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Murdoch. He'll lead once again at the line, so that's the 3rd lap led now tonight for the driver of the 01 out of Somerville, South Carolina. Looks like Gainey was out of line there. He went around the number 40 of Josiah Millen. Millen out of Topton, Pennsylvania. Only about, call it 45 minutes down the road from the racetrack. We talked about how he goes to the Pocono International Raceway. Right to his inside, the driver of the 977 out of Georgia. It's the Sim Box button box machine. You can find them over on Facebook.com. This is Doug Neal. And look at them. They're almost 3 wide. That's Tony Strano to the outside. Buckley down below, and here comes Dustin Gainey trying to get a run, but he's not going to be able to. He's going to slice back up in front of the 40 of Millen. The Jack Daniels number 40 of Millen right now buried back into the field. His counterpart of Donald Bennett. Oh, Bromley down onto the apron there, touching the rumble strips in his brand new paint scheme out of the Bromley Design Stable. You see that neon yellow, neon pink, flat black on the Bromley Designs, StrapTop.com entry. Bromley really had high hopes coming into tonight. Right now he is up 3 positions from where he started, but he is buried back in traffic also, back into the 28th position. The other Pennsylvania driver we were talking about, right there he is. The number 31 of Donald Bennett also resides just down the road in Topton, Pennsylvania. He is currently back into the 31st position, up 1 spot from where he had started here tonight. Down to the inside, I believe that's the 971. The 71 on the timing and scoring for all the race fans following along here tonight. That is Nathan Maurer. Heard word right before the race here tonight. Nathan Maurer had a brand new wheel setup just delivered today, and he was trying to get it calibrated right when we went into qualifying tonight. That's why Nathan Maurer, who you normally see running probably inside the top 10, top 15 with his Simbox machine, is way back here into the 26th position on the track, trying to get around Tony Strano. That would give him the 25th position. Buckley still trying to hold off and defend on the number 15 Lowe's entry of Dustin Gainey. That's the battle back here for the 21st, 22nd, 23rd position for Millen also right there. Someone headed to pit road. That's the number 4 I believe, of Kyle Souza. He will hit pit road for the first time here tonight. An unscheduled stop here on lap number 10. We were estimating fuel runs to be about 23 maybe laps these drivers would be able to go here tonight. Kyle Souza will be the first one to pit road, and we'll see what the issue is on him, as he is going to be off sequence here now the rest of the way with your race leaders, as now James Heater is the leader. And look at everybody just piled up here. It is rush hour. Oh, almost contact for Murdoch. Almost gets sideways yeeted by Minto down into the tunnel turn. That's not where you want to get out of shape down in the tunnel turn here tonight. It's all hot. It's all slick, as there's cloud cover right now, but the tunnel turn is not where you want to do the side-by-side movement. James Heater is looking out of 3. He will be able to come back around here and lead another lap. Murdoch flirting with the outside wall there out of turn number 3. He was able to hang on to it, and he stays green flag, flat to the floor. Looking off your race leader's back bumper here, looking on to Wells, Anderson, Terriot. Then you see Murdoch way high out of the groove in turn number 1. He'll possibly lose a couple positions as they're 3 wide out of turn number 1. Ryan O'Donnell going to get a great shove down the back straightaway. I believe that's going to be Single right there that gave him a shot. Now Single went back up into line there in front of Dalton Williamson. All the drivers look good out of the tunnel turn, but this is what we talked about. We didn't think we were going to see a lot of pack racing. Well, it stretched out in the first couple of laps. Now it's back to the plate style. Call it the plate style racing. There you see the 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. He is side-by-side with Single. Now here comes Trevarthen. He's got the run to the outside. There's Dalton Williamson and then Tim Blum right behind them. A little bit of a blinking action there from Ryan O'Donnell out of Michigan. He clears up that. Max Terriot now battling to try and get into the top 3 for the first time tonight. He will get there because Jack Wells will just lift off the throttle going into the tunnel turn. He didn't want to risk it, as side-by-side still back here. Contact, a little bit of a rub, and almost contact there by the teammates. Blum, and I believe that was Ryan O'Donnell, almost made contact. The full throttle racing teammates out of the tunnel turn. Look at the big run that Eric Johnson had then. Everybody battling for position coming through the tunnel turn really checked a lot of drivers up. Tim Blum lost about 3-4 spots on that, along with Ryan O'Donnell. He lost a lot of spots on that. You see everybody out here strung out there. You see the final car of Phillips there in the 31st position. He just came through turn 3 as everybody was just entering turn number 1. Halfway home here tonight in this fuel run before we will get to the green flag pit cycle. Will we get to the green flag stops here right around lap? I'm going to really say the fuel game is going to come between 19 and 23 laps here tonight. See how far who plays the game to try and go the farthest on fuel, because tires here at Pocono, they will fall off. Just let's take a look here at our race leader. This time by at the line. One of them into the outside wall out of turn number 3. That's the 64 of Jason Wells. He went hard into the outside wall. He stays on the throttle, but now that car is going to be severely damaged. Last time by at the line, it was a 55.36 second lap for our race leader of James Heater for the low line race team. He currently is sitting at 3 seconds almost flat off his fast time here tonight, which was a 52.9. He's one of the only drivers down into that 52-second bracket. There you see second place is going to be Terriot, then it's Anderson. Murdoch takes over third from Wells. Wells has started to fall through the field now. It hasn't even been a complete lap, and Wells fell from third all the way back to ninth, now 10th. As Tim Combs is going to get around him. Here comes Tim Blum. It looks like Wells is actually going to come straight to pit road. He knows that he has a wounded duck machine, so he will go straight to pit road. Some blocking going down the front straightaway. Looks like that may have been Joe Strano trying to block James Skelton. Skelton, though, will prevail and get around that machine. Just hanging out to the tail of this group is going to be the RB Custom Rigs Toyota, number 30 of Justin Gann. Race fans, you need a sim rig to get in competition here with the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. Head on over to rbcustomrigs.com or find the Facebook link right down below in the description of this video and get yourself a rig. It can go from mild, it can go to wild real quick. Zach Mitchell also down on pit road here. A little bit early taker to pit road, but everybody is just stacked up here. Single to the inside of Minto, and just look at them all stacked up as they go down the front straightaway here. Minto will take that 4th position and hang on to it for the time being. Looking back, let's see how everybody goes and enters corner number 1 here after that very long front straightaway. There's enough room on the front straightaway here at Pocono to go ahead and land your private jet. I think that's how a couple of these guys virtually came in off Flight Simulator or hopped right into their iRacing Simulator rigs also. Still side by side for Eric Johnson, Justin Gann. Richard Murdoch trying to hang on to that 01 machine. Trevarthen going to get to the outside of him. Murdoch drive it down into turn number 3. This is where you can really make up either a lot of ground or you can lose the whole front straightaway here if you don't get off the corner good. Max Terriot will come down pit road on the MK Medic machine. He'll be the first one of your race leaders to hit pit road. A little bit earlier, as there you see the 39 of Phillips. He's trying to come off pit road as Terriot's trying to get into his pit box. Will they make any contact? They're going to swerve and just miss each other. Phillips is going to come out of pit road, and it looks like a clean, just about a clean stop, a little slow stop, a little hang up on the left-hand side for that Yingling number 39 entry here tonight. So he will go a lap down to the race leaders as Heater has himself a nice 3-second race pace lead here over DJ Anderson. Brandon Yeet Minto. Sean Single sitting there currently in that 4th position. He's having himself a really strong run here tonight, but Michael Trevarthen got the Azus, number 31. Ford really tuned up here tonight. That boy is on the gas tonight. Will we see any takers from pit road? Here comes your race leader of James Heater. He will give the lead now over to DJ Anderson on lap number 18 as Heater, Combs, Skelton, Troutman all going to be coming down pit road here. There you see the Office Depot Mobile 1, number 62. He is down onto pit road for the first time here tonight. It'll be 4 tires and filler all the way up with fuel. Packer to go at least another 18 laps on fuel here tonight. One driver down to the inside. I believe that is going to be the 997. That is Don Coleman. Talked to him before the race with his Swagger in entry. You see the Phoenix on the hood of that, the Bandit machine. Coleman said if he could just not race Pocono, he would be all right. He says it's not in the favorite, not in the top 10, not in the top 50 of his tracks that he would like to compete at. A couple of your race leaders here are going to peel off. It looks like the 33. The 97 going to lock up the wheels. Well, that's the 991, actually, of Dalton Williamson. Joe Strano's right there. The sim box, number 71 of Nathan Maurer. He will come down pit road. A lot of these drivers about the 10th position on back hitting pit road as look as the challenge for the lead. Here comes Brandon Minto down to the inside. Now he'll go down the back straightaway here and see if he can take the race lead. Singles up top, Trevarthen, Murdoch, Blum, Gann, all right here in this front battle. But it will be DJ Anderson. Minto had to lift a little bit. Now he's going to go down. He's going to throw a block on Michael Trevarthen. Big block there by Brandon Minto to the 31 of Trevarthen. Trevarthen had to check up. I'm not sure if he's going to be too happy about that one here in the early stages of the race as both drivers are having themselves a good run. Handful of drivers going to come right down pit road. They're going to leave DJ Anderson all by himself from 2nd all the way to 9th, 10th, 11th, all coming down pit road right here together on lap number 20. They have gone the farthest so far on fuel. DJ Anderson will now actually be the farthest driver to go on fuel, and I believe he will be the only driver that has yet to come down pit road. Everybody finding their box on pit road. DJ Anderson still out there. He's going down the back straightaway all by himself. We're going to really see how much fresh tires are going to play the factor here tonight, or if those, the strategy being played by DJ Anderson with staying out the longest will be the way to go tonight. Checking through right now, no pit road penalties except for Tim Combe. He had a too fast entering pit road. He's the only driver to be assessed a pit road penalty as of current. DJ Anderson, though, your race leader, he will now come down pit road. He will now officially be the final driver to hit pit road, and he went 21 laps officially on fuel here tonight with that Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry at the Pocono International Raceway. Kyle Souza, remember, he was the first one to pit road. He will cycle through as our race leader, and he has about a 3.5 second race lead over Max Terriot, who was the first one out of our race leaders to come down pit road, but the tires on Souza's car are gonna be going away fast. We're gonna have to see if he can maintain his race lead, as there you see one of the drivers, that's the 917 car, getting back around your leader there of Souza. That is Tim Combs. He'll take one of his laps back and see if he can now run back down the field here. He takes himself into the 31st spot back on the lead lap. One driver right now who is still sitting on pit road, or coming out of pit road finally. It's the 977 Simbox machine of Doug Neal. Looks like maybe a pit road penalty there for Doug Neal also, as he spent 30 seconds in his box. So that puts him a lap down. He is the only driver currently 1 lap down tonight. So after our green flag pit cycle, there is your complete rundown on the left-hand side. Kyle Souza, Max Terriot, James Heater, Zach Mitchell, James Skelton, Ethan Troutman, Jason Wells, Eric Johnson, Joe Strano, and Richard Murdoch cycle out to be your top 10 drivers. And there you see James Skelton for the first time. Wells having a little bit of an issue. He jumps out of line going down into turn number 1. Something not right on the Alienware 64 machine. He's down onto the apron as the entire field is going to go around him in turn number 1. Not sure if something went wrong on the straightaway there. Maybe it popped out a gear, or maybe it blew a gear completely apart. But right now, Wells is down on the apron, and he is well off the pace here on the back straightaway of Pocono. It's a very long track, 2.5-mile track here at Pocono. It's not a track you really want to try and coast around. Trust me, race fans. One time I ran out in turn 1, exiting turn 1 in second place on the leader's tail. It dropped me all to 27th place by the time I just barely made it back around on the final lap of a race here at Pocono. It is a very long track when you're not up to full pace. And now it looks like Wells finally is able to find a gear, and he is back hammered down, but he's going to go from running inside the top 10. It was 7th at the time of his issue, all the way back to the 25th position on the racetrack, down 23 spots from where he has started so far tonight. That is not what he wanted to have done to him, but Max Terriot now is going to be your race leader here tonight at Pocono. He took the strategy, pitted a couple laps sooner than everybody else. Kyle Souza, yes, he pitted a couple laps sooner than everybody else too, the driver out of New England, except the fresher tires ran him back down. Looking at it now, it looks like Souza's probably looking to come down pit road in about the next 10 laps. Yeah, probably looking at 10 laps before he'll have to be down pit road. Maybe a couple before that, maybe really only 8 laps, since now you see James Heater, who was your race leader when all this green flag pit cycle started to happen. Heater will now run down Souza, and he will be able to probably make pretty easy and quick work of this number 4, because the tire difference is an 8-lap difference on tires, and we're going to see it right here, how much tires really mean to these drivers here at Pocono tonight. The low-line racing Toyota goes straight to the inside. Souza, one of those very accomplished short-track racers, he will just hit the hooks going into turn number 3 with his Mustang. He lets James Heater get right on by. Where's Zach Mitchell? Well, right there he is. You know what, the thing that really surprises me right now with the driver of this 924 DuPont Patriotic paint scheme, you see him try to break the draft a little bit there on James Skelton, is that this driver was into the outside wall early on in this race, and he still continued to be able to hang on after the pit cycle into that 4th spot. We'll keep an update on this DuPont 924 and see if the damage affects him on the long run. Back here you see Eric Johnson, Richard Murdoch, Brandon Minto All these drivers were at one point inside the top 5 after the green flag pit cycle, though they have lost a couple spots, especially the Richard Murdoch machine. He had led this race for a handful of laps inside the first 10 of this race. Now he is all the way back to the 8th position. See if the school bus lunch lady will be able to kind of pick his way back through the field. He is down 5 spots from where he has started tonight, running currently in that 8th spot. We saw Dalton Williamson have an issue on his pit road entry. He's way back here, now into the 17th position. As to the inside of him, that is the 51 of DJ Anderson. Slow pit stop for DJ Anderson as he came in. He was the last one to pit. Oh, almost actually up into Dalton Williamson down there on the front straightaway. The 51 of DJ Anderson buried back here now after being one of the last drivers. It looks like the 15 of Dustin Gainey will go high here and allow the 51 of Anderson to the bottom lane. You should be able to have him cleared by the time they get. Well, actually, now Gainey gets a good run. I was going to say by the time we get to the tunnel turn, Gainey would probably concede that position, as now Gainey's going to go high here into the tunnel turn. Let's see if DJ's going to be able to clear him. He will not, so they will run down the short chute here tonight, side-by-side racing. This is for the 16th position on the speedway right now. Dalton Williamson right there, and just lurking into the background, the number 2 of Josh Buckley has come into the picture. Looks like DJ not going to be able to hold that bottom groove, and Dustin Gainey will be able to hold his position in that low Chevrolet. Nate Maurer just behind this group here in the 71 Simbox Chevrolet. Got the wheel hooked up, but right now needs a little bit of help. Maybe a caution flag to catch this field back up and bunch them back up for Nathan Maurer to really start to charge through the field here tonight. He's got all the buttons and switches from Simbox, but the question being, does he have enough time, enough familiarity with that brand new Fanatec wheel that he has? Probably one of the hardest things. He went from having a G920, I believe it was, or a G27, to having a Fanatec wheel. It's not the easiest transition to go from that kind of wheel to a belt-driven wheel at Fanatec. The transition, it's so much smoother going to that Fanatec wheel for Maurer. He's probably able to feel the bumps just a little bit more. It doesn't have those gears clanking around like the Logitech wheel. Just behind him, a driver that actually has one of those Logitech G29s, I believe it is, a refurbished G29. That is just down the road by 30 minutes, the other Pennsylvania driver of Josiah Millen. I'm sure he's got some clunkety clunks going on in that thing, as it looks like the Jack Daniels entry has been into the outside wall here tonight a time or two. Jason Wells, we talked about his issues. Well, he's still back here into the 26th position. He has not been able to pick up any spots, as it looks like we have a driver hitting pit road here, as it's the 4. Kyle Souza going to be back on pit road here on lap 29. That means he's going to have to make at least one more pit stop to go the rest of the way, because he is pitting outside the window here. So it will be a 3-stop race for the driver of the number 4. I wonder if he's going to take 2 tires here, because it is a strategy play that you could take. 2 tires here on this second run, maybe to get out of your box just a couple seconds faster, but it's, yep, they're going to come around to the left-hand side. It'll be a 4-tire stop for Kyle Souza. 14.68 seconds in his box, and he is down and away here tonight. He's going to be buried back in traffic, but we'll see when it all cycles back through where he will come out. Here comes your race leaders. They're coming out of turn number 4 right now. They get around the number 39 of Brian Phillips in that Yingling entry. We've officially completed 29 laps here tonight. We've had 3 different race leaders. Max Terriel, James Heater, and Richard Murdoch have all led laps in the early stages of this one here at the Pocono International Raceway for your Auto Value Parts Store 162. So there you see the battle for position number 1. Heater has been able to run back down Terriel. The question is, has Terriel been playing possum? You always got to question what's on the mind of the 42 Canadian driver. Is Max Terriel holding back right now? He had the race lead. Remember, he pitted 1 lap sooner than the low-line racing number 18. As Tim Combs is down onto pit road now. There you see the driver of that 917 who will come to pit road. He's running into the 31st position. Told you we keep an eye on him. There is the 924 of Zach Mitchell. He'll lose a position now to Eric Johnson. Johnson goes around. He has fresher tires. He was last on pit lane on, I believe that was lap 18, if I'm reading the notes passed to me here for Eric Johnson. So he goes around Zach Mitchell, and these drivers are still battling pretty hard. Single and Trevarthen. This is for the 7th and 8th spot. Tony Strano down onto pit road right now with the Victory Junction number 3 Chevrolet. So he will come to get 4 fresh tires and see if he can go a little bit farther here tonight. Now here comes the driver of that 924 DuPont Chevrolet. He will hit pit road. James Skelton actually came in to pit road just ahead of him. There you see the driver out of South Carolina. He will hit pit road, and in his stall will come to a stop. We'll see if there's any 2-tire takers here under these pit stops. We'll keep an eye for that. But there's the battle for the race lead. James Heater down to the inside on Terry Alt through the tunnel turn. Hard to go side by side through there with these high horsepower cars, or, well, I guess tonight really low horsepower, only 550 horsepower. Terry Alt will take and hold the race lead for the time being. Will he come down pit road here, though? The 42 of Terry Alt will hit pit road here on lap number 32, so he'll give the race lead back up again to James Heater. Somebody coming down pit road right behind him. That's going to be Phillips. Looks like the checkered flag auto supply number 941 is down on the pit road. There you see him in his pit stall tonight. Brandon Minto right now is trying to make up 9-second deficit all the way to James Heater. The question being, will he be able to make up that difference? A couple other drivers down on the pit road. It looks like Richard Murdoch. It looks like Ryan O'Donnell's down on pit road. Troutman, as Murdoch really hanging it out. He looks like he's going to miss his pit stall. He's going to have to back it up. Troutman also going to come in a little bit sideways in the Office Depot Mobile 1 Chevrolet. So he is sideways in his pit box. Ryan O'Donnell, though, he's pitting in the more convenient way. As the jack drops, he is down and away. There comes Wells. He's going to come to the attention. Pit stall number 2 tonight. See him, it'll be 4 tires as everybody else is racing off pit road. Here comes James Heater. Here comes the number 30 of Justin Gann, also the RB Custom Rigs, number 30. Tonight's sponsor here tonight, your RB Custom Rigs Scrambler Series. This is the first time we got the old Cup cars out of the garage since last season. Put the Xfinity cars away for the week as we started the season off at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for 90 laps, where Sean Butler was able to park it in victory lane. Tonight, though, we will have a new winner. So we'll wait to see who will come down pit road. Right now we're waiting on a couple drivers here. Trevarthen, Tim Blum that you see right there. Sean Single also, Brandon Minto, Dustin Gainey, Josh Buckley. Will any of these drivers come down pit road this time? It looks like now Tim Blum will come down. Single will come along with them. Trevarthen going to stay out here as we are over halfway home here tonight in this race, racing towards the white flag, which will be presented tonight by the Checker Flag Auto Supply, located up there in Ayer, Massachusetts. But right now, it is all Michael Trevarthen, still waiting for him to come down pit road. I believe that is Michael Bromley in the Bromley Designs, number 48, brand new paint scheme on that machine. Waiting for him to come down, or he has actually just been down on pit road. That's why he's behind the race leader. He is the first driver, just 1 lap down currently. He's running back into that 23rd spot, but he's got fresh tires, so he will be able to get back around your race leader of Michael Trevarthen. As I believe Bromley thought for a moment he was going to go down there and go to the bottom, but maybe Trevarthen will come down pit road here. As it is, Trevarthen going to hit pit road, so now your race leader will be Brandon Minto. Minto will lead his first laps of this race in his U.S. Air Force Miller Lite number 20. Couple other drivers that are stuck a lap down right now. Donald Bennett right there in the 31 machine. He is going to be trapped a lap down for the time being until Michael Bromley gets his lap back, which he actually is back. So now it's Donald Bennett on the bubble of that lucky dog spot. He has to get back around Brandon Minto, and then it would put Wells onto that lucky dog spot. There is a battle for position, though, right behind him. That's going to be the number 2 of Josh Buckley and the 51 of DJ Anderson. Both those drivers have yet to come down pit road here, so they still have to make their stops. Don Coleman is also right there. He is currently running way back into that 26th position. I was going to say 27th, but that's actually Maurer. There you see the 997 of Coleman. He's got fresher tires in the Bandit machine. He'll go down to the inside. He'll make quick work of these drivers. Maurer is right there also in the Simbox entry. He's going to get possibly around DJ Anderson by the time they get down into turn number 1. A couple more drivers down on pit road. Brandon Minto. He hits pit road here with Dustin Gainey and Dalton Williamson. This is the second round of green flag pit cycles here for all these drivers. Josh Buckley in the DraftOp.com machine now takes over the race lead. So he will stretch it just as far, at least, as DJ Anderson. And then those will be the final drivers of your race leaders that have yet to pit here tonight in your Auto Value Parts Store 162. Your Auto Value Parts stores include the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Those guys up there located in Ayer, Massachusetts. Got to give them a big shout out. Rob and Robert, if you're listening, package is on the way to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Look for that in the next couple of days, but it looks like Buckley will stay out here and continue to circle the Speedway. Somebody way out of shape, I believe. That was the Kevin O'Brien machine, as now it looks like somebody down pit road. That's the Doug Neal entry. I think Kevin O'Brien was possibly trying to get out of the way and yeeted the outside wall in that Shell V-Power number 184. Right now, Kevin O'Brien, the Australian driver, just woke up from his, well, we'll call it a nightly nap. So maybe he's got some of those old eye crusties in his eyes yet, still trying to figure out which way is up, which way is left and right. Kevin O'Brien, a little scrape to the outside wall there. That could have just been iRacing buffering just a tad bit. Josh Buckley down on pit road with the DraftTop.com, number 2. Ford Mustang, so he'll make his second stop. Kevin O'Brien going to go around. Caution flag on the Speedway. Out of turn number 4, Kevin O'Brien stuffed it into the inside wall. So that's going to shake things up here now for a lot of these race leaders. We're going to have to take a look back and see what happened to Kevin O'Brien as he stuck down onto that inside. Let's watch this caution flag back. There's Kevin O'Brien in the 17. It looks like, oh, is it just going to step out from underneath? Oh, in hard. The car got tight. He hit the inside wall, and it just spun it around. So that'll bring the first caution flag of the evening out. On board here. Well, I guess that wreck could have been a lot worse than what it really was. There was those water barriers at the entry to pit road. Almost wound up inside them. On board here of the Shell-powered V. That's what's going to bring our caution flag out here tonight, the first caution flag of the evening. So now things are going to shake up. This is going to be good for Kyle Souza. The question being, though, race fans, 26 laps to go. We're right on that edge of being able to make it on fuel if we can. We already know DJ Anderson's coming down pit road. The next question being, is Max Terriot going to come down pit road? I almost think you have to bring these cars down pit road. You can't just sit out there. Even if Max doesn't come down for tires, he at least has to come down and get fuel here. Pocono is a very big track. We talk about it, 2.5 miles in length here at the Long Pond, Pennsylvania track that they call Pocono International Raceway. And there is a lot of room out there to save fuel. There's a couple different ways, especially with these big old cup cars. You could actually just go ahead and sit in the draft. You can lift early at the end of these long straightaways. You don't have to shift. You can really just keep it in one gear and roll around the speedway. DJ Anderson going to come to pit road, and he's going to drag everybody else down along with him. Here you see the 51, the 42. Everybody is coming along here. Kyle Souza, who was one of the first drivers to hit pit road all night long, he is coming down pit road. James Skelton, he will hit pit road. He will come to a complete stop. It is going to look like right side tires on that 86 machine. Nobody on the lead lap elected to stay out there. Looks like Dustin Gainey is done with his stop. Here comes Terrialt. Here comes DJ Anderson. Dustin Gainey just taking fuel on that number 15 machine. He's saving his tires for maybe a little bit later on in this event. So everybody coming off pit road. Now looks like Jack Wells, his team will go to work and try and see if they can beat out a little bit of damage on that 64 car. This is exactly what they needed. Remember, they were into the outside wall at one point. Jack Wells will take the time here now, get some damages done, and then he will come back out onto the speedway and see if he can now compete in this race here tonight, as his car was starting to get down on power. Remember also, out of turn 1, about 20 laps ago, the 64 lost all power. The driver of that 64 then dropped way back from inside the top 10 all the way into the high 20s. Right now he's being scored in that 23rd position, so we'll see if he can rebound now that we will have a complete restart. Everybody will be 2 by 2. Take a look, though, on the left-hand side. Find where your favorite driver is running all together after those stops. It looks like DJ Anderson, though, he doesn't trust the fuel calculation. He will come actually down pit road, so he will fall back through the field here. Looks like Michael Bromley, Donald Bennett, Josiah Millen, all also on that same strategy. They don't like what they see because, remember, they could actually end up going to overtime yet here tonight. So varying strategies throughout the field. As we do get the one to go here, we will go back green flag racing with 23 laps to go here in our Auto Value Parts Stores 162 tonight. We got to thank the guys up there in Ayer, Massachusetts, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. They are a family-owned and operated business, and they pride themselves on their knowledge and being an independent auto store. If you're looking for friendly and knowledgeable staff, reliable auto parts, you've come to the right place. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply, they are a Auto Value Parts Store affiliate. Great people up there with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. The Higgins, I've got to know a couple of them, Rob and his father. Both of them stand-up people. If you're up there in the Ayer, Massachusetts area, just go ahead and swing in, race fans. Tell them you said hello. And, of course, we got to thank the premier sponsor here this season coming on board for the Scrambler Series. We got to thank RB Custom Rigs. Race fans, I know you want to get out here. You want to get off the sidelines. You want to get off the YouTube stream. You just want to come out here and try it yourself. Hop on over to RB Rigs. You can find the down in the description. You can find the link to the website. You can get consultations. Does this part work with this part? These are the games I want to play. Will this work for that? Go ahead and get your rig today. Build it from mild to wild and your biggest fantasies. They can do it all over there at RB Custom Rigs. Don't wait another minute. Get over there, get your rig, get out here onto the track at the Pocono International Raceway and finish these 23 laps. Well, if it was only that easy. Let's go back green flag racing, though. Green flag is back in the air here tonight at Pocono for the Auto Value Parts Store 162. 23 laps to go, and it's the two that have been up front most of the night. Max Terriall, James Heater, nobody fans out down here. Looks like Kevin O'Brien coming to pit road here on the drop of the green flag. He'll go down pit road, and we'll race it down into turn number 1. Terriel going to get a great jump down into turn 1. He will set sail. He will be the race leader as we come out of turn number 1. Down the back straightaway, the big back straightaway here at Pocono. Coming to the tunnel turn. Look at James Heater in the low line racing 18. He's going to get a great run, but he's just going to run out of time. Max will diamond it off down into the tunnel turn. Everybody else going to have to come through there and do the side-by-side jargon. Big jockeying for position back here. Jack Wells trying to make up some ground singles right there. Williamson, Coneman all right there also. They are 2x2 in front of them with Joe Strano. The 62 there, and Ethan Troutman is in this little bit of a scum battle as somebody back there. Somebody's missing a complete rear deck lid. I think that might be Ryan O'Donnell. As, yeah, you see that yellow machine out of Michigan. There is no rear end left on that 98. The Canton Brew Works 98 of Ryan O'Donnell with heavy damage on that yellow machine. Last week he spun on the back straightaway and everybody was able to split him. This week it looks like the bright yellow colors not gonna work in his favor. You know, race fans, we did have a order your own custom t-shirt here with us a couple weeks back, and Ryan actually purchased one, pre-ordered that neon yellow one. And let me tell you, if you ever go to the races with Ryan O'Donnell, you're going to be able to find him because it is going to be neon yellow. But look at the racing up here. They were 3 wide as Tim Blum actually backed out going into turn number 3. He let Dustin Gainey get around it. That's Eric Johnson also in the Dirty Mo Radio number 33. They'll come across the stripe. It'll be just 21 laps to go here at Pocono. And they are all chasing those two out front. Max Terriel, James Heater. What has happened to the 4? Kyle Souza, he was down to the inside there. Here comes Nathan Maurer in the Simbox entry. Maurer going to swing it way high. Buckley follows him in the DraftTop.com entry. They swing it way high down there in turns 1 and 2. They lose a ton of ground. Coming to the inside is the 997. That is Don Coneman in the Swagger Inn Bandit machine. Donald Bennett is right there in the 31 entry, or the 13 as it shows on the timing and scoring. Just has his numbers inverted for you, friends. Dyslexic, read it backwards. There's your race leaders. Dustin Gainey back there. Looks like he is right around, that looks like 7th position, right ahead of the RB Custom Rigs number 30 of Justin Gann. Richard Murdoch in the Adventure in Pixels entry. He's right there in 9th. Behind them is Zach Mitchell. We talked about this rookie and being into the outside wall early on in this race. His car hasn't suffered as much as Jason Wells. Wells right now is still trying to play catch-up. He is into the 13th spot, but hasn't really been able to break into the top 10. Joe Strano with a little bit sideways in his Green Forest Tree Supply entry. Wells will get down to the inside, and he will be able to make the pass for that spot. Now can the old Office Depot entry of Troutman get by? Looks like everybody came out of turn 4. Nobody was into the outside wall here in the early stages of this run till the end of this race. Murdoch still sitting there inside the top 10. He has not been able to get back to Dustin Gainey. Remember, Gainey, when he came down pit road, he only took fuel in this Lowe's number 15. So he is still on a little bit older tires, but he took just 5 seconds of fuel and packed it full to try and make it to the end here. Remember DJ Anderson leading this race? Well, right now I'm looking at it, and the 51 has some heavy damage on the DJ Anderson entry. Looks like he's just trying to push Rob Higgins right now, as DJ Anderson is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage. Maybe he's going to try and limp this 51 Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry back around here, because if I remember right, he was the last one to come down on pit road on 41. It's going to be really close on fuel for the 51 of DJ Anderson. So right now he's just trying to stay tucked up in the draft. Kyle Souza down pit road. This is going to be his final pit stop of the evening. The driver of that number 4 back into the 29th position. Max Terriel, James Skelton still up here running 1 and 2. Or James Heater, sorry. James Skelton actually is now in 3rd. Right behind him, Eric Johnson. We told you the silent but deadly number 33 of Johnson will be there at the end. Eric is now running in 4th. Tim Blum is 5th. 6th is Michael Trevarthen. Justin Gann is sitting there into the 7th position. Dustin Gainey is back there in 8th, and Richard Murdoch currently rounds out the 9th position. Sean Single is 10th, and Brandon Minto now down onto pit road. There you see him coming down in his Miller Lite Ford. Doesn't look like he has crinkled up that Miller Lite can just yet tonight. So Max Theriault continuing to lead this one here tonight. He has led the most laps so far here tonight at Pocono. He started back into that 8th position, now leading this one here tonight. It'll be 16 laps to go in the Auto Value Parts Store 162 when we come back to the racing line. Last week, Max finished right behind Sean Butler. Butler's not here, so he will take the points championship lead, leaving Pocono if he's able to finish ahead of James Skelton. He only had a 1-point lead over James Skelton coming in. Right now it would be I believe would be a 5-point lead once we leave here with the bonus points that Max will gain here tonight with leading a lap and leading the most. And I believe that is still a clean number 42 machine, so there's no X's on that. Looks like Doug Neal is down on pit road along with Jason Wells. So both those drivers don't think they can make it the rest of the way on fuel, so they will stop here while there's still 16 laps to go, and then they will come back out onto the speedway. Looks like a 4-tire stop for Neal, but it is only gas and go for Wells. Through turn 3, they come again. It looks like that 3rd and 4th place machine, though, they are coming. Let's check at the line who has the fastest time out of all of them. Looks like Troutman's going to come down pit road here. Your fastest car on the speedway right now was James Heater, who runs into that 2nd position. And then it was Skelton and Johnson, then Theriault. Ethan Troutman down on pit road once again, though. It'll be his final stop. He hits his box. Let's see, is it going to be gas and go? Right side tires will go on the 62 Office Depot entry for Troutman. Let's see, Jack drops and he is down and away. His team did come in tonight leading the championship hunt for team points. They had a 1-point lead over the Lowline Racing team. So with him coming back out onto this track, he will stay on the lead lap, but he will be shown into the 27th position. Kyle Souza does go around him. Remember, Souza was down along with Wells right there. Those two run nose to tail. So a couple drivers have made their final stops. Now James Heater actually brings the Lowline Racing 18 down. He doesn't think he can make it the rest of the way on fuel. He's going to bring Tim Combs down pit road. Phillips is coming down pit road in the 39, Yingling sponsored. Another one of those Pennsylvania sponsors on this machine. Phillips, though, out of Georgia. Wonder if he's ever had a Yingling down there in Georgia. I don't know if it goes that far south. I think North Carolina might be as far as they go with their distribution. But you talk about distribution, Max Theriault says, I'll take none. He leads the 86 of Skelton right now. Will either of these two come down pit road? It looks like Skelton will come down pit road right here. So he'll turn the race lead, or he'll turn the 2nd place over to Eric Johnson. Your race leader of Theriault still staying out. Richard Murdoch will come down pit road also in the Adventure in Pixels machine. Gonna see who's able to roll the dice here tonight. Race fans, as we close in on the conclusion of this one, almost 10 laps to go. We got to thank you all for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If it is your first time here with us on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we appreciate that you found your way over here to, well, us tonight. Also, if it's your first time, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, get the notifications anytime we do go live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We bring you short track racing action on Thursday night with the Red Light Racing Series. Has a couple more drivers. Johnson and Trevarthen peel off the pit road here, coming to get 12 laps to go. But we do bring you their short track racing action. You don't want to miss that. If you think these drivers are great here at the big 2.5-mile track at Pocono, just wait till you see these guys on Thursday night I believe this week they head to the Myrtle Beach Speedway on Thursday for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. Other drivers down on pit road. There you saw Justin Gant. Troutman, Higgins is down there. Strano, Single came down pit road that time, but Max Terriot still continuing to pace the field here now. Tim Blum, I think, has backed off the pace just a little bit. There you see him in the 10 machine. He's got a great helper in front of him. That's the 77 of Doug Neal in the Simbox entry. Neal just came down because he had his Simbox telling him that it was time to come to pit road a little while ago, so he hit pit road for the final time. But now Blum, you can see it, those new tires, though, for that 77. They're just driving away from the 10 of Tim Blum. More drivers to pit road. Zach Mitchell, Dustin Gainey, Nathan Maurer, Dalton Williamson coming to pit road. Josiah Miller going to lock him up and almost hit the inside retaining wall. He was able to hang on to it, but the Jack Daniels driver out of Topton, Pennsylvania for the Jordan Henn race team, he'll come to a complete stop there. Right ahead of him is the other Simbox entry, Pennsylvania driver of Nathan Maurer. One Simbox driver to another Simbox driver. There goes the 977 of Neal. He'll get around. Now, coming to get 10 laps to go, your leader, Max Terriot, going to be down pit road. Will it be 2 tires, no tires, or will it be 4 tires? It'll be 10 to go at the line here tonight. Looks like taking over the race lead here tonight for the first time. It'll be the driver of the 13 of Donald Bennett. Bennett leading his first laps of the season at his hometown track. Bennett had camping reserve spots here for the Pocono doubleheader. It would have been right about here before they got into the tunnel turn, about a little bit halfway down the back straightaway. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 crisis pandemic hitting the United States and Pocono International being held. The race was held, but without fans, so Bennett not getting to go to his first Cup race at all this season. Driver of the 31 attended a couple Indy races at another tricky track here in Pennsylvania, as Bennett will come to pit road now. He was at Nazareth a handful of times growing up, but never to the Pocono Raceway. So he'll hit pit road with 9 laps to go. That should turn things over to this driver right here, DJ Anderson. He now takes the race lead with 9 laps to go, and he's got damage on that Camry. Will he be able to outlast this driver right here? These two are going to be coming with a lot of steam because they have pitted. They know they can exactly make it the rest of the way. Here comes Heater to the inside of Skelton. It's the James and James show, battling for the 2nd and 3rd position on the raceway. Skelton, though, had maybe a little bit of a slower start. He's had to come from, it looks like, the 19th position to get into that 3rd spot. The Carolina Elite Real Estate driver still having himself a good night. Finished 3rd last week. It looks like right now it's a 3rd place machine, possibly, because Max Terriot right now is sitting about 2 seconds back, but he is actually coming. He was faster last time by at the line, so we'll see if that's going to be a battle for a podium spot. DJ Anderson still continuing to lead the field here. He's catching, it looks like, the 3, the Victory Junction number 3 of Tony Strano. Looking at the speed here for DJ Anderson, it looks like the car just goes straight down in the corner. I think he's trying to save a little fuel, race fans, but he overshot the corner. When he turned the car off, the car went straight into the corner. He's back up to speed, but he's going to lose a lot of ground from those cars that were pulling him around the raceway. He really needed that draft, but now I believe something may actually be going wrong with the 51 of DJ Anderson. Is the tire completely shot? You see the damage to the left front of the 51 Mountain Dew Baja Blast. You see it. It's got to be hurting DJ's turn. There you see Anderson at the line. There you see the 18 of Heater and Skelton just coming out of turn number 3. So it's about a half a straightaway lead just about here, which is 5.5 seconds currently over James Heater. DJ Anderson, James Heater, Skelton, Terriot, Blum, Johnson, Trevarthen, Justin Gann, Richard Murdoch, and Ethan Troutman round out the top 10 drivers here with just 7 laps to go. But I don't know if we're done. DJ Anderson has not pitted. And Max Terriot, there you see him. He's still trying to get back to where he was. There you see all the drivers relative to him. Terriot has about a second till he can catch James Skelton, flirting with just being under a second. Will he be able to catch him? Last time by, he was the faster of the two. But Tim Blum was actually faster than Max Terriot. It'll be 6 laps to go this time by at the line for all these drivers. The check is coming out. The pay window will be opening, and who will be the winner at the end of this one here tonight? There you see, that's the 15 of Gainey. Gainey is not right now battling for position with DJ Anderson, so he is going to let him go on by. Anderson going to catch a little bit of that draft and try and stay in it. Have the number 15 of Gainey pull him around at least the tunnel turn. Gainey does have, it looks like, 4 fresh tires on that number 15, so he will just set sail and actually leave DJ Anderson to fend for himself. It'll be just 5 laps to go here tonight at the Pocono International Raceway for your Auto Value Parts Store 162. This time by just 5 more laps. And there you can see the second place, James Heater, creeping into the picture. He's got fresh tires on that 18 machine. 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods for James Heater. Will he now run down DJ Anderson and get around him for the win here tonight? Made up a lot of ground there. He is within striking distance now, but so is Max Terriot. He is coming. Look at Heater and DJ Anderson try and snake down the back straightaway to break that draft. Heater is going to catch him, though. I believe by the time they get out of turn 3, he is going to be there. DJ Anderson knows he's a sitting duck. He swerves through the short chute here to try and get away. Into turn number 3, coming to get 4 laps to go. Is it all over for the driver on the 51? Heater just turns right underneath DJ Anderson. He'll pull side by side, and at the line it will be James Heater going back to the point here tonight with just 4 laps to go. Here comes Skelton. Skelton has closed up onto the Heater. Down into turn 1, Max Terriot is right there too. They're going to shuffle DJ Anderson from turn 3 in the lead to running 4th on the track, all by the time they exited turn 3 to turn number 1. Heater, Skelton, Trevarthen, they are all right there. All 3 of the drivers. You see them in the picture. You also see Tim Blum back there with Johnson and Trevarthen, the 5th, 6th, and 7th place driver. Something. DJ Anderson way up the track in the tunnel turn. He's going to slice down out of the way. Does he possibly have a tire going down because of the damage on the left front of the 51 machine? We saw it just the other night here on turn 3. We saw a couple drivers blowing out tires slowly but surely. DJ Anderson will now come to pit road as your race leaders are going to get 3 laps to go here tonight at Pocono. Tim Blum is coming, race fans. There you see him in the background. He is coming. He is lurking in the background. He officially does have, as we look off the back here of Max Terriot's onboard camera, you can see the number 10 of Tim Blum. You see the 33 of Eric Johnson, the orange car poking out just a little bit. Trevarthen is there. So this race is not going to be over by any means, because next time by, when we come by the flag stand, these drivers will see the old popsicle sticks as Terriot going to peek to the inside here. He's going to let Skelton know he's there. Through the short chute they come. Terriot going to take over the second position. Skelton backs up the corner. Terriot gets underneath. Tim Blum looks like he kind of misses the apex there in turns 3. We will see. Just 2 laps to go here tonight at Pocono. 2 laps to go, and it is anybody's battle from first all the way to the 5th, 6th position. They are all right here within 1 second of each other. One mistake could take you out of the running for this win here tonight. Out of turn 1, it looks great for James Heater, but here comes Terriot looking to the inside. Skelton also popped down the line. Tim Blum going to fill the hole to the outside. It will be side-by-side racing into the tunnel turn with 2 laps to go. Terriol to the inside. He's only got 2 tires versus the 4 tires of Heater to the outside. Blum going to go up to the outside. 3 cars to the outside. 3 dancers, 2 jokers to the bottom going into turn number 3. It is Max Terriol surging ahead in turn number 3. He'll come out of turn 4. He will see the checker flag auto supply white flag being shown here tonight. He is letting everybody in the dust side by side. He has a half-second lead coming out of turn number 3 down the front straightaway with 1 lap to go here. Heater gonna dive it back down to the bottom. He's gonna get ahead of James Skelton. Tim Blum still trying to keep it wound up with the Ford horsepower to the outside. He will be able to get a great run down the back straightaway. Heater has to pick, does he want to block the inside or the outside? He goes to the outside to block Tim Blum down the back straightaway. Max Terriol dives it down into the tunnel turn for the final time. Everybody goes single file behind him. Trevarthen now looking to the inside of James Skelton, but it will be one final turn for Max Terriol. Turn 3. There is no turn 4 here at Pocono. Terriol just has to come through the final corner clean off of turn number 3, looking for the checkered flag here tonight. Max Terriol will win the Auto Value Parts Store 162. The battle for second, those Heater going to be at the line. James Heater will come home second with Tim Blum in third. Eric Johnson will be shown fourth. Michael Trevarthen fifth. James Skelton going to go from third to 6th on the final lap. Coming home 7th is going to be Justin Gann, 8th to Richard Murdoch, Zach Mitchell in 9th, and Sean Single rounds out the top 10 here tonight. Find across the top of the screen where your favorite driver finished this race, because man, was it a good one. One caution flag only here tonight at Pocono. That beats the previous record here for the Scrambler Series. It was 2 caution flags back in Season 2 for the Red Light Racing Series when they had the Xfinity cars right here at Pocono. It was 2 caution flags. This beat that with just 1 caution flag. So, I mean, these guys always put on one whale of a show, that is for sure. We will see what Max Terriol is going to be able to do when he comes down here onto the front straightaway. Will he be able to rip us a couple donuts, race fans? Who doesn't like donuts? Let's see. Slowly, is he going to light them up for us tonight here at Pocono, guys? Looks like he's just going to sit here and have himself a nice, calm, and cool celebration on the front straightaway at Pocono. And as he does that, we will step away. We will be back here with your post-race show brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. Welcome back, race fans, here to the Pocono International Raceway located in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. 65 laps here tonight for the Auto Value Parts Store. 162 is officially in the books, and we have officially crowned a race winner here tonight. He hails out of Canada. Race fans, it's the mkmedic.com machine, I believe. Max, you talked about Pocono last week in the post-race show when you finished second to Sean Butler. You said Pocono was going to be where you rebounded and parked it in Victory Lane, as it's one of your favorite tracks, and you did it here tonight.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, this felt completely different than any other races that we've been here before. It felt loose, which meant some throttle control early in the run. We had 2-tire pit stop with 10 to go, which threw in some strategy compared to others. It was really a fun race, one caution, so it went by fast. And congrats to James and Tim, who came back from far for top three. And overall, it came down to tire wear for the first half and then strategy at the end.
Yeah, Pocono is one of those tricky tracks. They don't call it the tricky triangle for nothing, really. You're able to play a lot of strategies. Did you come in with a strategy that you had written down, a game plan that you really wanted to execute tonight, or were you just kind of fly-by-wire tonight?
In the beginning, if we were, like we did, going to go green all the way, I would just split it in 4 different stints. But we couldn't make it, I think, 22 laps on a few runs, so I would have split it equally. And but we always have to see how cautions fall, and now this season we have to be aware of our tire limit. So it's as the race progresses that you have to make adjustments.
Yeah, that is for sure, and especially with all these hard-nosed racers here. You know, James Heater, who finished second, and Tim Blum came out of nowhere in those closing laps to really close in to challenge you guys for the win. You really got to be mindful of who's on what kind of set of tires. You never really know as a driver unless your crew chief out there is paying attention. Did you know who had what behind you?
Behind me, I knew Tim had 2 tires. We pitted on the same lap, came out from nose to bumper, so I knew he had the same strategy. When I saw him duel up with Eric and I think Michael tagged along afterwards, but I knew that they were saving a little bit to be fast at the end. It worked for them, and but James was really fast all race long. On the long run, he caught me before mid-race point, so good race to him too.
Well, Max, you're going to win the second race of the season, stamping your passport into the postseason, but that's not going to be for a little while. So you're going to have a lot of more chances here to kind of build up the wins. Next week, we're going to head to a track that, well, has a lot of unknowns. You're a great short track racer yourself as we head to the Lucas Oil Speedway. How do you feel when we get the Xfinity cars back out of the shop and onto that little short track?
That's a very fun racetrack. We raced there a few weeks back or late last season in the modifieds. It's a very fun track. I think there is some side-by-side racing that is possible lap after lap. It's a little bit technical because there isn't that many tracks that compare, but we'll put in some practice time and we can only hope for green flag racing like we have so far this season.
Yeah, it's been a great season so far. Max, it looks like you're going to come out of tonight with the championship lead, so congratulations on that. Congratulations on winning here. I'm going to roll this red carpet out. We're going to hand you the mic. You know the song and dance that comes here. I'll step back 6 feet, and who do you got to thank for parking this 42 in Victory Lane tonight?
Yeah, well, I thank my girlfriend, my friend Max at Maximity, and my dad for watching the race. For you, the broadcast at Turn 3 Network. You're doing an awesome job, Roger. Keep up the good work. Josh, James, and Richard at Red Light. And the top 5 guys, they had a good strategy at the end, so it was well deserved for them to finish with a strong top 5 finish.
Well, there you heard it from your winner tonight, Max Terriot, the winner here at Pocono for your Auto Value Parts Stores 162. Max will punch his ticket into the big dance a little bit later on into the season for the chase for the championship here in season number 2 of 2020. Coming home tonight here into the second position was the driver of the low line racing number 18. James Heater has himself another great showing. Led a bunch of laps with that 18 in the early stages of this one. Just was not able to get back around Max Terriot here at the end. He did have 4 fresh tires on the 18. Just was not able to outduel the wily veteran of Max Terriot. So a great drive for the Team 18. But finishing third here tonight, it's probably the man that has the most fans out there. Tim, you got a whole cheering section here tonight at Pocono, and you did not disappoint them. A third-place finish has got to feel pretty good for you.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm not sure who all's out there, but for whoever's watching, thanks. Keep cheering.
Well, let's just say Joey Blue is probably your biggest fan in the world. Where did you come from, though, here, Tim, at the end of this one? It seemed like a 10th place car most of the night, and then all of a sudden the laps started to click down, and you rose to the top with this Classics hot sauce machine.
Yeah, I didn't get to practice this track, and like Max was saying, this is an entirely new setup and package for these cars. So it took me the first half of the night to get used to it, and I was really following the front guys on strategy. So I figured if I was going to mess up, I'll mess up with them, and we weren't sure if it was going to be fuel mileage either. So I just sort of ran a quiet race. I could use one after last week.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing finish for you last week at Charlotte, I believe it was. Yeah, Charlotte Motor Speedway. So you rebound here at Pocono, looking, farther on into the season, Lucas Oil, Texas. What about the Charlotte Roval? Everybody has this one marked on their calendar, September 14th. What do you think in 3 weeks when we head to Charlotte?
That's I definitely have that one in mind. That was sort of similar to this race for me here last time we ran it. I didn't have much practice, figured it out about halfway through the race, and got up to like third or fourth. But got to work on qualifying better. That will be key at the Roval, since I think it's very unlikely that we'll have a caution. So it's about running a perfect race and just staying on the track.
Well, it's a great run here, and hopefully you have a great run at Charlotte in a couple weeks, Tim. But who do you got to thank for another podium finish here in the Red Light Series?
Thank old Joey out there. That's my dad, so I give him the link every week, and he's out there cheering. So thanks, Dad. And want to shout out to all the drivers tonight, man. We could have really forced the issue there many times, but there was a lot of give and take, a lot of letting guys in to help you get into and out of the corner. So great job by everyone in this league, and congrats to Max, and good old turn 3 at the Tricky Triangle. That worked out pretty good too. So thanks for you, Roger.
Yeah, great job tonight for Tim here, and it is the Tricky Triangle. It is home to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as we just lived right down the road. Tim Blum, race fans, comes home, position number 3. Great rebound for himself, but it was all about Max Theriault here tonight. He was able to lead the most laps. Well, the driver from the Canada just hopped over the border here and got to Pocono and was able to show these guys what racing was here tonight. Take a quick look here at our results brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply here tonight for the Auto Value Parts Store 162. There you see your top 18 drivers. Find where your favorite driver is going to wind up here tonight. Did he finish inside the top 18? Well, if he didn't, he'll have another chance just next week when we do head to the Lucas Oil Speedway on August 24th here with the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. 175 laps under the lights at Lucas Oil. Race fans, if you like Pocono and you thought Pocono was crazy with this package, you're going to think Lucas Oil, a short track with the Xfinity car. I don't want to say double the horsepower, add about 250 more horsepower to very similar looking stock cars that you saw here tonight and stuff them on the short track. You're going to have some great racing action. Look at the rest of your finishing order here tonight at the Pocono International Raceway. Race fans, tonight's race was brought to us by the Auto Value Parts Stores. One of those Auto Value Parts Stores affiliates, that is the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. So we got to also thank them. We also got to thank the Green Forest Tree Supply Company. Every project starts at the Green Forest Tree Supply Company. So go ahead, give them all a thumbs up and a like, and tell them you saw it right here. We also got to thank our main sponsor, RB Custom Rigs, coming on board this season here with the Red Light Scrambler Series, being now rebranded as the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. If you need a rig to get out here with some of the best racers right here in the Red Light Racing Series, you need to head on over to RB Custom Rigs. Get your mild or wild or insane sim setup from them. They will get you pointed in the right direction. Whether you stay in the right direction when you get out on track, though, that's going to be determined by you. But race fans, we got to thank you not only for the support here tonight at the Pocono International Raceway on Monday night to start off your racing week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We will be back on action with the Red Light Series, with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series on Thursday night, where you're going to see a lot of the same drivers that you just saw here at Pocono making some short track racing action when they head to the Myrtle Beach Speedway under the lights. Myrtle Beach just held its final race ever in the real world of things just this past weekend, but we will always be able to virtually race on at Myrtle Beach thanks to the guys over at the iRacing.com platform. So race fans, yes, we're done here on Monday night, but we'll be back Thursday night with drivers like Max Terriol, Richard Murdoch, Joe Strano, Josh Buckley, Kyle Souza. Maybe you'll even see a couple of these other drivers like Minto out there, or even James Skelton. Tune in on Thursday night to catch more of the Red Light Racing action, but till then, race fans, we will see you later, and be safe as always.